Hello friends, Mahesh here from mahitekz, and today we are going to see a new video about how to install Oracle's Virtualbox in your Windows computer and then install Ubuntu virtual machine in the Virtualbox Hypervisor. So now we need 3 files. First, go into the download link in the description box. There will be 2 links. You just need to open this Oracle VM Virtualbox, and today we are going to install this Virtualbox in a Windows operating system. So we need to select Windows host and then download this file. Next, we need the extension packs. So we just go down and then select Virtualbox 6.1.6 Virtualbox extension pack and then download the all supported platform files. So we need these 2 files and then we are going to install Ubuntu. So we need Ubuntu operating system. In this Ubuntu 20.04 LTS version, just download it. It will download as an ISO file. Now I will open this new folder in my desktop. You can see that I have these files: Oracle Virtualbox extension pack, Ubuntu ISO file, Virtualbox installation file, and then I have an extra file for Windows operating system. So now we are going to install Virtualbox. Just right click on this file, run as administrator, and click yes. Now you need to select next, leave everything as default and just click next. We are going to create all the shortcuts. Yes, click next. Now Virtualbox will give us a warning. So all the network interfaces will be disconnected. So do you want to proceed with the installation? Just click yes. And then it is ready to install. Just tap on install. We will just wait for it to install. It may take a couple of minutes. Meanwhile, if you like this video, drop a like in this video, subscribe to our channel and ring the bell icon. As you can see now, the Virtualbox installation is complete. We are not going to launch the Virtualbox now, so just uncheck this Start Oracle Virtualbox and then just tap on Finish. Next, as I said earlier, we are going to install the extension pack. Now see, it detected it is an Virtualbox extension pack and the icon has been changed. Just double tap on it and we can install it. I agree. Allow the permission. It will install the extension pack. As you can see, we have installed it successfully. Now we are going to launch our Virtualbox. Right click on Oracle VM Virtualbox, run as administrator, and just tap on yes. Now as you can see, this is the dashboard of Oracle Virtualbox. From here we can create virtual machines. So why do we need virtual machines? We can easily learn any other new operating system using this. We don't want to touch our existing operating system, and then we can try any number of operating system using this. So no need to format your hard disk, no need to lose any data, nothing is there. Just you can experiment any number of times. So now we are going to install Ubuntu operating system in our Oracle Virtualbox. Before this, you need to ensure that you have virtualization enabled in your BIOS. So how can I check it? It's very simple. Right click on the taskbar and select Task Manager. Go ahead into Performance tab. Select CPU. By default it will be selected. Just go to the right hand side. There you can find virtualization enabled. If it is disabled there, go to your BIOS, enable the virtualization and then come back. Now I am going to create a new operating system or new virtual machine. So I'm going to select new. The name I'm going to give is Ubuntu. So I'm going to save my virtual machine in C drive users admin VirtualBox VMs. So this is a Linux operating system and it is of 64-bit. Next, I am going to assign 4 GB of RAM to this virtual machine. I am going to assign 4 GB of RAM to this virtual machine and I am going to create a hard disk. So I am just going to hit create. So it is asking us to create the hard disk and I am going to specify the hard disk as 30 GB. I am going to create it. We need to go into the storage settings and select the optical drive, and then we want to choose a disk image, and from there we want to select the Ubuntu ISO that we have downloaded and hit choose. So now as you can see, our optical drive has been loaded with Ubuntu operating system. So now what we have a Ubuntu virtual machine with 4 GB RAM and we have a 30 GB hard disk. So now it's time to start the virtual machine. Just click on start. It will load like a normal computer, but the only difference is it is running inside a Windows operating system. Now as you can see, Ubuntu is loading. We'll just close all these messages. You can see Ubuntu is checking the disks. We can proceed with this, or we can just type Ctrl+C to cancel the file system checks. Since I know this disk is proper, then also we are just going to run the check disk for you to know how it works. As you can see, the checking disk is completed successfully. No errors has been found. Ubuntu will load now. By default, Ubuntu will load into a live USB or a live virtual environment. So from there we will install it into our virtual machine. And by the way, this is the latest version of Ubuntu 20.04 LTS version. Right now we are into the operating system. We are not going to use this by default. We don't want to run the operating system with the help of a ISO file. We just want to install it directly to our system. So in that case, we want to install the Ubuntu. So whenever you load a live USB, Ubuntu by default will ask you to install it, or you can try it. So now we are going to install it. So select just install Ubuntu. The next step is we need to choose a keyboard layout. English US is fine for us. We can just click continue. And from here we can configure our updates and stuff. So for the sake of this installation, we are not going to update this machine right now, but we are going to install graphics drivers and everything, and we want to do a normal installation, not a minimal installation. Minimal installation will install only basic utilities. So we are going to click continue now. The next thing that we need to do is we need to select in how we are going to install Ubuntu in our hard disk. So we are going to erase the entire disk and install Ubuntu. So I am going to select the first option. In this, the entire disk will be wiped. So if you have any other important files in the drive, you make sure you back up the files before installing. Or if you want to install to a custom partition that you have created, you can create, or you can select something else option from here. I am going to select the first option and click install now. So it will ask us the confirmation. It is going to write the changes to the disk. Our disk is of 30 GB and it will partition it like this. So I am okay with this. I am going to click continue. We have to select our time zone. So already by default it has selected Kolkata as our time zone. It is correct for me. So I am going to click continue. Now we need to assign a name for our Ubuntu system. I am going to use it as Ubuntu, and then the username by default it acquires from the name Ubuntu, and I am going to set my password. I am going to click continue. So now Ubuntu installer will install the files to the system. It will take some time. So once this is completed, I will be back. As you can see now, the installation of Ubuntu is successfully completed. We just now need to restart to use the system. Just click on restart now. In this process, we need to remove the ISO file that we have mounted to the virtual machine. So how can we remove it? Just go to the devices menu here, select optical drive, and then remove disk from virtual drive. So we removed it, and then we need to go into our virtual machine and then hit enter. Now Ubuntu 20.04 is loading in our virtual machine. Now we have reached the Ubuntu lock screen. As you can see, we have our user Ubuntu that we have created earlier. Now we can log in. Just hit on the user Ubuntu and type in our password. We have successfully logged into our Ubuntu account. As you can see, we are going to skip this online account section. We are just going to click next now, and we are not going to share any information. We are going to allow the location services. Click next, and we are ready to go. Just click done. We have been greeted to the Ubuntu Desktop window. So now there are two more things to do. First, we will switch to full screen. So how can we switch to full screen? Go ahead into view and then select switch to full screen. So it is showing you a dialog box. When you are in full screen, you can go back to windowed mode by pressing host plus F. So here the host key is nothing but right control key. So we are going to switch. As you can see now, we don't have any graphics drivers installed, so we will be stuck with low res. So to solve this, we are going to install the guest additions CD image. So we have inserted our guest image and we are going to run this software. So what this guest additions will do is will enable all these graphics functions, everything. So now we need authentication for this. So we are going to type in our password. So it is installing the VirtualBox guest additions. So we are just going to exit out of this, as I think the installation is complete, and then we will restart. Now the system is restarting. So once it is restarted, we will be having most of the functions like graphics. We can share the clipboard, so we can just drag and drop to this virtual machine. So all these options will be available only after we install the guest additions. So let's wait for the system to restart and then we will see how it works. Now we are back after the restart. So we are going to enter our password and then we are going to log in into our system. So now we will go ahead and switch our virtual machine to full screen. Still now we don't have any graphics acceleration here. So what we will do is we will just go to view, select the virtual screen and auto resize guest display. Now as you can see we have a full screen Ubuntu machine. So if you want to minimize this system, you just go ahead and just minimize it and then do whatever you want to do in our Windows system. And then once if you want to go back to the Ubuntu machine, just click on here and then you will be back in the Ubuntu and do whatever stuff you want to do in Ubuntu. Learn some new operating system commands, master how to use it in terminal and everything. All this good stuff you can learn from this Ubuntu operating system. If you like to remove this operating system, it is very easy. You can just simply go ahead, turn off this virtual machine, right click here and then just select remove. So now the operating system is running, so no remove option is there. If you turn off the operating system and then you will be having the remove option and you can just remove it completely. As you can see, this is how you can run Windows and then Ubuntu operating system side by side. This is very easy to do. You can easily install it in any computer. Thank you. Have a great day.